Hello everyone, and thanks for stopping by to Scrap and Craft with Terry. Today we're going to make some mini flip-ups with pockets and journaling space. So we're going to go ahead and get started. If you like my video, I just ask for a thumbs up. And I saw this on Scrapbooking with Me. So we're going to go ahead and give it a whirl, see how it turns out. She got one of these little flip-up jobbies from one of her friends, so she did a video on it. I don't think it was a recent video. I'm not sure. Anyway, we're going to start out with a 3-inch by 11.5-inch piece of paper. Now this is a cardstock. I wouldn't use real flimsy paper on it because maybe it won't, I don't know, maybe it just won't be heavy enough. But use what you have. Now my paper is only single-sided, so I stenciled the back of it. Now I've inked most everything. I'll have to do a little inking along the way, but that's all right. So 3.5 inches wide by 11.5 inches long. And we're going to score at 3 inches. Seven 3/4 and 11 1/4. Okay, now we can take this off. So we're just going to fold over our score marks. Now, when she very first did this, she said to cut this at 11.5, but then you had to trim some. I don't know. This little thing here, we might just end up gluing it down. We'll have to wait and see. It was supposed to, there's going to be a pocket in here, and it was supposed to hold in the pocket. So I don't know. I think I'll probably just glue it down, and that'll make this pocket a little bit more sturdy, or this fold. But we'll see. One thing at a time. So now that we have these scores made, I'm going to go ahead and ink them so they'll be done. I don't think I have to ink down in here, but we're going to do it anyway. And if I have to, it'll be done. Now I'm going to do a couple of these because this one is a narrow one. And I wanted to do a little bit wider one to see how it looked also. But the second one, I have it already cut out and scored and everything. I just have to kind of put it together. So it's going to look something like this. Okay. So while we're right here on the front, we're going to go ahead and put a pocket. And then let me see. Yeah, see, I still have to cut a little tiny bit of this off. Maybe I was supposed to leave that 1/2 inch and cut off here. Oh, I don't know. But that's okay. We'll see how the next one turns out. Let me just cut a little tiny bit off of this, and then we'll see why here shortly. Not too much, just a little. Probably what I should have done was just left this and trimmed it as I was going. But if you hear anything, we're having a thunderstorm. We're finally getting some rain, but we really just need rain that's nice rain. Okay. So now we're going to put a little pocket down here. That's better. Now our pocket is 3 inches wide by 1 3/4, and I'm going to do a little thumb notch. I'm not going to do a real deep one, just a small one, just so we know it's there. I could ink with my dauber, or my little inker, but this blue shows up better when I just use the little pad. All right, so we're going to go ahead and glue our pocket down. I'm only going to glue 3 sides. Now this is really, once you get your stuff cut out, is really a quick project. It's just figuring out for sure what to do and then getting everything done. That takes a little bit of time. Okay, so there's that. Now we're going to open this up, and I think I'm going to go ahead and just glue this down. It's not long enough to do anything with anyway. So when you cut your piece, I would cut it at 11 3/4, not 11 1/2. Let me just make a little note of that, because I think I had it cut at 11 3/4 before, and I trimmed it. So that'll just make this little flap a little sturdier, that's all. Otherwise, really doesn't mean anything. Then we have this pocket in here. Now I'm not going to put a thumb notch there. We're going to have paper, journaling paper in here. And we're going to hook our journaling paper onto our pocket. So I'm just going to, I think I inked this side. I'm just going to fold this over a little. I don't even know if I'm doing a 1/2 inch. You can just judge what you want to do. And I'm just going to hook it on here. Just like that. So I'm going to go ahead and glue it down. I guess I have to have it in the center of the paper. Maybe I didn't cut it very straight, I don't know. Let's see what it looks like. It's coffee dyed paper, so it might be warped a little bit. Let me do it this way. Because when you coffee dye it, it kind of gets ripples in it. That's better. Then we're just going to fold it over, and we're going to accordion fold it. So I'm just going to fold up at the bottom of the pocket, and then I'm going to fold down at the top of the pocket just to try to keep them somewhat even. You know, it doesn't have to be perfect. Just try to get your folds across there. And Then we're just going to fold this up at the bottom. And since we have this folded up and left over, we're going to use this just as our little pull to let you know that there's something there. And then you can pull this out and this up. Okay? So let me just ink across the top here. And then I'll ink my my other score lines. And we'll ink this one here. This one. I couldn't ink them until it was all done. And that doesn't need to be inked. I'm not inking that. Okay. Now, this is just going to fold back up here. Now our pocket is going to fold right inside of this score, or it's going to glue right inside this score line, and then this will fold up over it, so it'll fold up like that. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm just going to glue 3 sides down for my pocket, and then once you get it glued in, if any of your paper is hanging over the side, you can just trim it a little bit. I guess I gotta go up to the top because this is the top of the pocket. I'll just get it down to my score line. See what it looks like on the back. Okay, it looks like I might have to trim just a little bit there. My pocket wasn't over all the way. There we go. I think that's better. It's better for my pocket. We'll see how the paper looks. And we'll fold this back down. We'll kind of try to bring all of this in even. There. And now that'll just fold out like that, and then it'll fold back like that. And that'll be your little journaling spot. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah. Okay. Then we'll bring this back in even and crease it a little bit. I think I have to trim my paper. Looks like it's hanging over a little bit. There, I think that's better. You're going to see the paper anyway because it's just there. Okay. So now, let me see now. What are we going to do now? Let's go ahead and decorate this up here. I have this book page. Thought I would add that with this, because on my tags I'm going to have book page and music paper. I really didn't know what to decorate these up with, so that's how I'm going to decorate them. And I think it'll look okay, hopefully. And I liked this butterfly. It has some green in it, but it's dark. Well, we have in the leaves that's going to be on our tags is green, so you know, whether it's right or whether it's wrong. And then I'm just going to put it like that a little bit. We'll just lightly add a couple. Okay. Now let me see. Down here on the pocket, we'll go ahead and do the pocket. And I'm going to do the same thing on the pocket. I'm just going to add a little bit of the book page with just this little number and this little butterfly. I wasn't real sure about this decorating, but that's what we're doing. Let's see, I want it something like that, I guess. And then I'll just kind of put him like that. Hopefully that looks okay. Just put a couple of them down there. Now I'm messing it up. All right. Now we have, well, let me see. On here, we're going to add a little pull topper. Then we'll know that that pulls out. And this matches the pocket. So that's what I'm putting on there. These will make nice little inserts for journals or folios, either one. If we crease that down good, that should lay down. Okay, let's set this aside a minute. And we're going to do our tags. Let me see which is which. I guess that's that, and this is this. Okay. Now on my tag, I want to cut my angles. I'm going to have a tag and a journal card. And I forgot to tell you the size of the pocket inside. This inside pocket is the 3 inches by 3 by 3. How about that? So it's about a 3 by 3. Okay, and I'm going to round the bottom of my corners. then we'll just ink around these. So on my tag, I'm going to put the book page. I'll have to tear this, and I'll have to tear that. So let me just go ahead and tear this. And then I can ink that a little bit. And just barely tear this. So that's how that's going to look. So I'm going to put my music paper down first. Oops, I didn't want that to slide like that. And then we're going to put this down. Then I'm just going to have flowers. I think the yellow flowers will go okay, and inspire. Before I do that, I better put my tab on, then I won't get anything in the way. So I'm going to do the same kind of tab, or the same color tab as what I put on the little pull on the paper. And for my tags, I just used file folder. I'll tell you what size they are. Okay, so this is about 4 1/4 by 2 5/8. And then there's journaling on the back of this also. So you'll have a couple tags for journaling as well as your journal paper. So we're just going to put this down here. Get some of my glue off. I haven't even paid attention. Hopefully I've been on the camera the whole time. Well, not me, but the project. And then we're just going to put inspire, and that can go right up onto the tag topper a little bit. Or that can just go right there. I think I like it better up there. So we'll put it there. Okay. Now, this is going to be the journal card, so I'm just going to round all 4 corners. And we're going to do the same with the paper. This is going to go on this side, and this is going to go over here. So I'm going to put my music paper down first. And I'll tell you how big this card is in just a second. Now I think by the looks, maybe, I don't know, we'll have to see. I don't know if my tag is too long. I hope my tag is not too long. For the other card that I'm making, the tag looks pretty big. This is almost 4 inches by 2 5/8. And then I'm just going to put the yellow flower on here. And this little word, sweet, just says sweet. So we're going to put that on the side. Hopefully it shows up good. So now this is going to go in this pocket in here. Hopefully it's big enough. Let me run this down through there. I mean, hopefully the pocket's big enough. Yep. So that goes down in there like that. And then this is going to fold over. This is going to fold down. And this is going to sit in this pocket. And that's going to hold our flap down. Let me work this a minute. And I think this is the way, this is a cool way to close the flap down. See, now this is a little tall, so if this would be taller than what you would actually want, you would just make your tag a little shorter. Now this kind of pulls out a little bit, but that paper in there makes it kind of thick. So if you don't like the way this pulls out, you could always just add a little safety pin to hold it. And I think that would be okay also. Just have a little safety pin next to your tag, and that would hold it down. That would make a cute insert into your journal. Now if you wanted something here, decoration here, you could add something there also. I don't think I can, because this cardstock is pretty thick in itself, which makes this a little bit thicker. But I think I would just have a little paper clip. You could do a altered paper clip on it also. So there you go. That's the first one. So that's the 3-inch insert. Now for the 4-inch insert, I did the 11.5 on this one. So see, this thing here is wider. So I did the 11.5, and I did the same score marks, the 3-inch, the 7 3/4, and the 11 1/4. So let me make for sure. no, it's 11 3/4 is what she cut it at. Yeah, I changed it up there, 11 3/4. So now we're just going to go ahead and do this pocket. So it's 4 inches wide. Everything is the same. It's 4 inches by 3 inches. Everything is the same except for the width. And then with my paper, I already have it folded. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this on here. So it's just repetition, so I'm doing the same thing. Well, anyways, this is the paper that I'm using. And I just stenciled the inside of both of them the same. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue this on. And this paper come from 8.5 by 11. So it's 11 inches long. I just cut it to fit the size of the pocket. So this one was 3 inches wide and this one is 4 inches wide. And then we just fold that up. And I'm going to put well, unless I lost it, and anything is possible. Okay, well, I'll have to get my little tag topper for the, oh no, here it is. So I'm going to put that on. This matches my pockets. I'm going to go ahead and put this on. So they're fun to make once you get it all together. So that'll be our little pull for that. And then I'm going to go ahead and glue my pocket down. And we're just going to do the same thing. We're going to glue it into the flap just before the flap, or just before your score line. And then I can even it up. There we go. And see if we have to trim. I think it looks okay. So up here, I pretty much just figured like the same kind of decorations, except this one has more green in it. It was just easier to do the decorations the same way instead of trying to figure out all different kinds of stuff. And then I'm just going to put this on here. And then I'll give him his little antennas. Hope my pen is not going bad. I don't know if I have another one. All right. Now, see, now this thing here was actually, I think, meant to come up here and tuck into this pocket, but I don't. Or tuck under this paper or something, but I don't really see how it's going to work very good. So instead of making more bulk, I think I'm going to cut a little bit of it off. So, well, that went flying. So you can do whatever with this little flap you want, or you can just cut it off. It doesn't matter. This is nice weight cardstock. I don't think I would use any cardstock that was too heavy. Okay, we're going to go ahead and put our front pocket on. First, I want to cut a little thumb notch in it. Just a little one. And I already have my tags made for this one. But I can't fast forward because I don't know how. Otherwise, I would have to go off and just put my pockets on. But that's not going to take long to do. This is all I have left to do. Put this on here. And then we're going to have another number and another butterfly. And he's a little bit darker, but I think he'll be okay. We'll just have him like that. And then we have, this is almost a square, almost a four. Now this is, let me see, this is 3 5/8 by 4 inches. So that's going to go in here. And I just put flowers, an awesome, and a butterfly. Guess I should show you what I did, huh? And I rounded my corners on there. Then for this tag, this is 3 5/8 by about 4 3/8. So we'll fold this down. I already cut this part off to make it shorter, but this card is really pretty, quite long. But I guess they compare about the same. So the same thing on here. If you think that you don't want that sticking up like that, you can just add a paper clip. Add it there, add it on the side, wherever you want to add it. Don't want to cover up my butterfly. So them are what we made today, and I called them mini flip up with pockets and journaling space. So let me know down in the comments what you think. Do you think you would make these? Give me a thumbs up if you like my video, and check out my other videos. And until the next time, everyone, have a wonderful day and happy crafting. Bye for now.